In a world driven by consumerism, where advertisements constantly tell us that we need more to be happy, it's easy to fall into the trap of dissatisfaction and desire. We are taught that happiness lies in possessing more material things, more achievements, more recognition. But in the pursuit of excess, we often lose sight of the simple joys and the abundance already present in our lives. How can we develop a mindset of gratitude in a society that constantly encourages us to want more? How can we find contentment in the things we already have? Seneca offers a timeless Stoic teaching. He is a wise man who does not seek more than is necessary. This simple but powerful principle challenges us to focus on what we truly need, rather than being consumed by endless desires. In this video, we'll explore how Stoic philosophy can help us shift our focus from constant consumption to appreciation, encouraging a mindset of gratitude and contentment in a consumer-driven society. Seneca offers us profound wisdom when he says, "He is a wise man who does not seek more than is necessary." This quote speaks directly to the heart of Stoic teachings on gratitude and contentment. In a society where more is constantly marketed as better, more possessions, more experiences, more status, Seneca challenges us to reconsider what is truly necessary. For the Stoics, true happiness and peace are not found in the accumulation of things, but in the ability to appreciate what we already have. The Stoics teach us that gratitude doesn't come from seeking more, but from recognizing the abundance in our present lives. By focusing on the essentials, those things that bring us genuine joy and fulfillment, we can cultivate a mindset of gratitude that is independent of the consumer-driven world around us. Seneca reminds us that he is a wise man who does not seek more than is necessary. This timeless wisdom challenges the prevailing mindset of consumerism, which teaches us to constantly seek more possessions, more success, more experiences. The more we acquire, the more we feel we need, and thus, the cycle of dissatisfaction continues. But Stoicism offers us a different perspective. True contentment comes from recognizing the enoughness in what we already have. The trap of constant consumption. In today's consumer-driven society, we are constantly bombarded with messages that tell us we need more to be happy. Social media displays curated lives of excess. Advertisements create desires for the newest products, and status often becomes linked to what we possess. This creates a cycle of dissatisfaction, where no amount of acquiring, achieving, or consuming is ever enough. The Stoics saw this desire for more as a path to discontentment. The more we seek, the more we feel lacking. And so, we continue to chase what's just beyond our reach, never fully appreciating what's in front of us. The key to gratitude is shifting our focus, not on what we don't have, but on what we already possess and how much joy and fulfillment it can bring. Stoic wisdom for cultivating gratitude. Reevaluate what is truly necessary. The Stoic approach begins with reflection. We often take for granted the things we have, our health, our relationships, our skills, and the simple pleasures of life. By constantly striving for more, we miss the abundance already present in our lives. Seneca's insight urges us to ask ourselves, what do I really need? What brings me true contentment? By identifying what is necessary versus what is extra or temporary, we can learn to appreciate what we have right now. Practice daily gratitude. Gratitude is not something that happens automatically. It is a practice. The Stoics often began their day by reflecting on what they had, their health, the people they loved, the opportunities before them. In doing so, they reminded themselves to appreciate the present moment and not take things for granted. Practicing daily gratitude shifts our focus from lack to abundance. Even small things, a moment of silence, a walk outside, a meal shared with loved ones, can bring peace when we consciously acknowledge them. Simplify your wants. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate gratitude is by learning to simplify our wants and desires. Instead of constantly seeking more, whether it's more money, more possessions, or more recognition, Stoicism teaches us to desire less. The fewer things we desire, the more we can appreciate what we already have. The Stoics weren't advocating for asceticism or deprivation. Rather, they encouraged us to focus on the essentials and appreciate them for what they truly are. Let go of comparisons. In a world of social media and constant comparison, it's easy to look at others and feel that we are lacking. We see their achievements, their possessions, their experiences, and feel inadequate. Stoicism reminds us that comparison is a trap. Your happiness and contentment should not depend on what others have or do. By focusing on your own journey and appreciating what you've rebuilt, regardless of external comparisons, you can cultivate a sense of gratitude that is rooted in self-awareness, not envy. Embrace imperfection. Perfectionism is another obstacle to gratitude. We often look at our lives and think that things would be better if they were perfect. If our homes were cleaner, our careers more successful, our relationships more harmonious. Stoicism teaches us to embrace imperfection. Gratitude doesn't require perfection. It requires acceptance of the present, with all its flaws and limitations. When we stop seeking perfection, we start to appreciate what we have, as it is, right now. The freedom of gratitude is the antidote to consumerism and dissatisfaction. It shifts our focus from what's missing to what's already here, helping us feel content and fulfilled with the simple, essential parts of life. By practicing gratitude, we free ourselves from the cycle of wanting more and instead find peace in what we already have. Through Stoic wisdom, we learn that true happiness doesn't come from acquiring more. It comes from appreciating what is sufficient. Gratitude allows us to embrace simplicity, contentment, and inner peace, even in a world that constantly pushes us to want more. In today's world, where consumerism is constantly promoted and dissatisfaction is often fueled by the desire for more, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that happiness is found in possessions, status, or external success. We live in a society where we are told that more is always better. More things, more experiences, more wealth. However, the pursuit of constant consumption often leaves us feeling empty and unfulfilled, as we are never truly satisfied with what we have. The problem is not that we don't have enough, but that we are never content with what we already possess. Seneca reminds us of a profound truth. He is a wise man who does not seek more than is necessary. This simple Stoic thought challenges us to rethink our relationship with desire and consumerism. Rather than focusing on what we don't have, we are encouraged to appreciate and be grateful for what we already possess. In a world that constantly tells us to want more, Stoicism offers us a path to contentment through the practice of gratitude. Gratitude, according to Stoicism, isn't just about being thankful for what we receive. It is about recognizing the abundance already present in our lives. By shifting our focus from desire to appreciation, we can find a deep sense of peace and fulfillment, regardless of our material possessions or external circumstances. The cycle of consumption and dissatisfaction, the rise of instant gratification in today's society, has made us accustomed to constant consumption, from food delivery services to shopping apps. We can satisfy our desires almost instantly. This culture encourages us to always seek more. The latest gadget, the next promotion, the perfect experience. However, this constant pursuit of more leaves us feeling empty. The more we consume, the more we want. And the more we want, the further we feel from true satisfaction. Seneca and other Stoic philosophers understood that the desire for more is often the root of dissatisfaction. When we constantly strive for what we don't have, we neglect the value of what is already in our lives. The Stoic path encourages us to shift our perspective and ask ourselves, what is truly necessary? What do I already have that brings me joy and fulfillment? When we stop seeking the external, we start to see the richness in the present moment. The Stoic path to gratitude recognizes what is sufficient. The first step in developing a mindset of gratitude is recognizing what is truly necessary. According to Stoic philosophy, material wealth and external success are not the ultimate goods. Virtue, wisdom, and integrity are what bring true fulfillment when we focus on what we truly need. The basics of life, the things that bring us joy, health, and relationships, we see that we already have enough. This shift allows us to appreciate what is sufficient, rather than always reaching for more. Shift from desire to appreciation. Gratitude is an active practice that requires us to intentionally focus on what we have, instead of longing for what we don't have. We learn to appreciate the abundance already in our lives. The Stoics practice daily reflection, focusing on the simple blessings of life, such as a healthy body, a peaceful mind, and meaningful relationships. By regularly reflecting on what we have, we train our minds to focus on what's good instead of what's missing. Cultivate contentment with imperfection. One of the key tenets of Stoic gratitude is embracing imperfection. In our consumer-driven society, we are often led to believe that we must have perfect homes, perfect careers, or perfect lives to be happy. However, Stoicism teaches that contentment is found in accepting imperfection. When we stop comparing ourselves to others or measuring our worth against idealized standards, we learn to appreciate the goodness in the imperfection of our own lives. This acceptance of imperfection leads to true peace and contentment. Practice self-sufficiency. Self-reliance is central to Stoic philosophy, and it is closely linked to gratitude. The more we rely on ourselves for our emotional well-being, the less we depend on external validation or material possessions. The Stoics encourage a lifestyle of simplicity, self-discipline, and moderation. By practicing self-sufficiency and finding contentment in what we can provide for ourselves, we reduce our reliance on external sources for happiness. Gratitude, in this sense, becomes a practice of appreciating what we can control and what we already have. Rather than seeking external sources for fulfillment, let go of comparison. Comparison is one of the greatest obstacles to gratitude. When we compare ourselves to others, we often feel inadequate or dissatisfied. Social media and modern advertising fuel this sense of lack, constantly showing us what we don't have. Stoicism teaches us to let go of comparison and focus on our own path. By shifting our focus from what others have to what we can truly be grateful for, we free ourselves from the anxiety of wanting more and open the door to true contentment. The true peace of gratitude, the peace found in gratitude, is not fleeting or dependent on external circumstances. It is a deep-seated appreciation for the good already present in our lives. When we cultivate gratitude through Stoic practices, we find that we no longer need to chase after more to feel fulfilled. We come to understand that true happiness is not found in possession, but in appreciation of what is already enough. By letting go of the constant craving for more and shifting our focus to what we have, we embrace a life of contentment, peace, and self-sufficiency. Gratitude, as the Stoics taught, isn't just about being thankful. It's about finding fulfillment in the present moment, accepting what is, and living a life rooted in simplicity and virtue. As we conclude today's reflection on how to cultivate gratitude in a consumer-driven society, remember that true contentment is not found in the endless pursuit of more. Seneca reminds us, "He is a wise man who does not seek more than is necessary." In a world that constantly pushes us to consume and accumulate, Stoicism teaches us that true wealth comes from recognizing the abundance we already possess in our relationships, health, values, and simple pleasures. By embracing gratitude, we shift our focus from wanting more to appreciating what we have right now. The Stoic path encourages us to embrace simplicity, practice contentment, and let go of comparisons. When we practice gratitude, we free ourselves from the cycle of consumerism and move toward a life of peace, purpose, and true fulfillment. So, the next time you feel the pull of external desires, take a moment to reflect on what you have and appreciate it. True freedom and happiness come from within, and by cultivating a mindset of gratitude, we unlock a life that is richer than any material possession could ever provide. Thank you for joining us today. If this video resonated with you, subscribe and share it with someone who might benefit from learning how to cultivate gratitude and find peace in a world that always wants more. Let's walk the Stoic path of contentment, simplicity, and fulfillment together.